Hi, viewers. Welcome to ACTN and welcome to the community of Vance River. And today we are here to speak with Anthony Roger about a program that is instituted today, the South End Football Clinic, but it's really a community project where where Anthony used sport as a means of bringing the young people from the community together and partnering with a sponsor who saw the work that Roger is doing, and they decided to come on board by donating school books and a few stationery. And Anthony, well, it's always a pleasure. Welcome to ACTN. First of all, tell us about this South End project, what it entails and how it was established.
It's a fun, boy, I mean, South End project is always fantastic and very close to my heart because it's always about using sport for positive change. And we believe, because I'm not talking about something I've read or the degrees that I've did. I'm talking about a life experience. Sport have changed my life in a tremendous way, and I am wanting, by the grace of God, I am given. God says He's given us the ability to get what we need. I'm using what God has given me, which is sport, to change the lives of the young people who's interested in sport. And football is the catalyst which I'm using at the moment. So South End is South End is a project that is using football to woo young people to come out. And we don't just do football with the ball on the field, but we use it to teach communication, to teach working together with others. We talk about, learning to respect each other. These are the different things. Learning to know I need the next person as much as that next person needs me. And understanding to listen to the people who are in charge, people who are elders. We're teaching a lot of things through the program, and it's football, but it's in a different methodology for the younger ones.
How difficult it was for you? Because we are in a time in the country where financially everybody's falling back. Right? What we saw here today must have incurred some cost in here. How did that part of it was taken care of?
I think this is the difficult part. I believe in God, Jesus Christ, and I believe that He wanted. I've asked Him. I've really been struggling to get into the football fraternity, and I'm asking Him to give me guidance and what can I do to help, because He's given me so much knowledge of the game. I'm highly qualified now, and now I'm wanting to impart all that He's embedded in me out. And one of the things He told me is work with the young people, give it to the youth in the community. And one of the initiatives is this. So my wife and I say, Marouge, we don't have any money to do it. And I'm saying, boy, if God tell you to do it, He go provide, He go provide. And one of the things is, I still kept a lot of relationships with others. I've asked all the companies in the area, and the only one besides Barclays, who is one of the local contractor. We're talking about Raw Fitness in Gasparello. And these are the only two people who came out together with Kitchenona and TGU. And TGU from a massive win. I have to give them kudos with everybody else. TGU has listened to what I wanted to do and came up with the idea that they will donate bags for a back to school event that will help children. That is something that is also close to my heart, because we have to remember, everybody has their part to play, and this is the difficult thing with life itself. I cannot be a politician. I'm not a teacher in a school system. I'm not a policeman. But what God has blessed me with is being a football coach and a footballer, an ex-footballer. So I'm using what I have. And I'm appreciative of what everybody else's talent is, but I'm using my talent for what God has given me. And I, by His grace, brought this together with the finances of my family and a couple of corporate people. We bring this together, and now we're talking about 200 kids being impacted by the event that what we do. This is not normal in a community like Library. Tell me about the other projects that banked 200 people with no funds. God is so awesome. And I ask God to continue to bless me and bless the people who has come on board, the likes of Anglesey, Philbert Jones, Al Sinclair, Edison Smart. I mean, to name a few. These are the people who's taken out of their time. We don't have money to give them, but they've taken out of their time to come and assist. And God is so good with this, George. And I want to tell God thanks, because without God, nothing is impossible. Or with God, all things are possible. Absolutely.
Now, I look at today and I see Philbert Jones, Angus, how did you convince these guys to get involved?
No, and that's a good question. And if we could learn this as people, as human beings, I try to live an example of myself, of honesty. And when I do, I'll be honest with you, I don't ask anybody, just anybody off the street. I ask people who I can trust, who has the same objectives or beliefs that I have. And they want to see young people evolve and be better. And Philbert Jones is somebody who has been so close to my heart. George, I tell you, one time I used to talk like Philbert Jones. I loved the man so much that God used Philbert in his career. And despite of what I say, I think Philbert Jones was one of the best strikers passed through this country. I say it. I think I have the merit to say it, and I say it. Philbert Jones is one of the best strikers passed through this country. And God has allowed him to be that mentor for me that I could learn from. And that has helped me to become captain of Trinidad, playing in Europe over 15 years, 3 continents. George, these guys are people who have the same blessings or the same favor that I have, that want to see young people improve themselves. And these guys, doesn't matter when I call them, they know it's a good thing, so they will come. And as long as God is involved, they will come and God will make way. Even this afternoon, I'm doing an exhibition game in Mahika Oval, and I brought back all the players who I have played with, who has played my career playing for Trinidad and Tobago. And all of them are coming down to Mahika today on the 13th, 4 o'clock, 13th of August, at 4 o'clock to play against Point 1411. And we are going to have some fun. But it's important, this reunion is basically to remind ourselves that we have a responsibility for football to take it to the next level. Jack Warner's finished, people. He's no longer in football anymore. We have to make the difference now. We have to stop battling with each other and do what God has blessed us with to improve the community, and in turn will improve football in Trinidad and Tobago.
What next for the community of Vancouver Library under the Southern
umbrella? We're working on a project now that will possibly, my thing is going into schools. We have to try and we're just finalizing things. There is meetings with the Ministry of Sport to try and get involved. The Minister of Library, Member of Parliament, is Mr. Oliveri, is also willing to assist. We're going to try and use the Southern brand to go into the schools and use the football from a perspective of education and getting the children to understand how important their education is, but using sport to do that. Sometimes we are able to touch these kids in a different way than a teacher would. Similar principle, but a different mythology. And if we can help in any way, and that's what Southern is all about, we are putting something together. By God's grace and His blessings, we get it off the ground, and we intend to do a pilot project, hopefully in Lubbock first, and reach and touch every young man or young woman, young man who's interested in playing football and involved in sport, that we can now bridge that gap between education and sport.
Any closing comments before we wrap this interview?
I think it's important, right? I want to say thanks to everyone involved, and I know even at 25, George, you've been a stonewall for sport, and again I'm mentioning everyone has to play their part. And George, may God continue to bless you and your organization, because you had to play a part. And I just pray that everyone who hears my voice understand that concept. We can't do what George is doing. And George can't do what you just do. But let George do what he does. Let me, Roger, do what he do. Let the next man do what he does. And let's bring it together for the goodness of the Almighty God who has given us all that is good, and for the sport in which we love. So I think we had to just stick together. I think if we don't, I'm sorry to say that in here, if we don't, any country or kingdom divided against itself will not stand. And I will leave on that note. Thank you so much.
Roger, it was a pleasure, and we wish you all the best.
Thank you, George.
Well, viewers, you've heard it from the man himself, Anthony Roger, former Trinidad and Tobago national footballer, now doing a lot of work in the community. Like I said, we're in the community of Vance River for an initiative by the South End football group. that has put on this project today. They distributed over 200 school bags in conjunction with TGU. And the children were here, they enjoyed themselves. And it's going to be a huge, huge relief for the many parents whose child or children got a bag today. Not just a bag, a JanSport bag, which is one of the most expensive bags filled with stationery. So it's going to be a total, I don't know what is the word to use, but I am sure that when these kids go home and the parents open those bags and see, they will be grateful for what they got here today. Okay, well, as you see, the children of Vance River, they are receiving their gift bags. And the bags were a donation by Trinidad Generation Unlimited. And I have Teresa Williams, the Community and Public Relations Officer of this group. Mrs. Williams, it's a pleasure.
Hi, good day.
As we witness a gesture here in the community where the children are receiving their bags donated by your company. Tell us a bit about your company, first of all, and how did you all get into something like this?
All right, so we are all from Trinidad Generation Unlimited, which is the power plant located at La Brea. We're the only combined cycle power plant in the country and in the Caribbean, actually, and we're very proud of this fact. And one of our main objectives is always to focus on the CSR and the community relations within the La Brea and environs. And this is just one of our projects that we've done this year, where members of the company or employees of the company, they are divided into groups, and each one of them, they work with a different community group in the area. So this group, they decided that they wanted to donate backpacks to some of the needy children in the Vance River community in particular, as other groups have liaised with other communities. So this is just one of the efforts that we have as part of our CSR initiatives, which are numerous. We've done some educational excellence awards. We partner with groups with sporting programs. We've done a lot of work and interactions with the schools. We have an online educational interactive computer program coming up in each of the primary schools and the secondary schools. We just completed some vision screening, and that's something that we do every year, where we have each child in each of the primary schools and the secondary school tested. If they need spectacles, we provide them for free. So, as I said, we are very, very committed to the community of La Brea and the environs, and our CSR efforts always aim to achieve the goals of that.
Anything you'd like to share with us further before we wrap?
I think one of the main things that we always want to do is make sure that we work together. And it's not just about TGU giving handouts or giving in the community, but really about trying to develop sustainable interactive programs. Partner with some of the groups, help them help us, help them help themselves, actually. So again, this is something that we're very proud of, because we are touching the lives of children, and we know that they are the ones who we have to focus on to build a better nation, to build a better country. So again, TGU is committed to La Brea, and we are very proud of that.
Well, let me say thank you very much, and congratulations to you and your organization for a job well done.
No problem.
Yeah. We are here today to really witness an initiative in a community that I think is very, very important for other communities, because in every community you go to, there are people who are in need, right? Tell us a bit first about your community and tell us about this program here today.
Okay, well, Mike, good afternoon, good day everyone. My constituency of La Brea is made up of numerous villages, and it's an extensive geographic area. There are different cultures in different villages, but what is common to all the areas is that there are persons who would be less financially independent than we would want them to be. So you'd always find opportunities then to assist persons in need. And we look forward to various NGO groups and community-based organizations taking initiative in helping the persons within their local community. Now, some corporate citizens would plan events on a grand scale, a grand national scale. But what you find is when community groups get together and do something for the persons within their community, there's a lot more love that you feel in the event, and you get a great deal of satisfaction when you see community groups helping their own. Now, this year, Anthony Roger, who has a football club, has decided to use his talents then in the football arena and use that sport as the template for bringing the kids together, and whilst you are teaching them the sport, you're also having a little motivational talks with them. And that is really important in molding the mindset of our youngsters. We do have lots of challenges in the country right now with the youth coming up, not being engaged, not seeking to make themselves self-sustainable. And the way to solve that problem really is to tackle it from the primary school level. One of my focus areas as MP is looking at what is happening with the primary school kids and getting them, training them along the right path so that they can then make the difference in the future.
Now, tell us a bit about your community, because we hear so many things that goes on in different communities, but Labour is a community that it's kind of quiet, you don't hear much, right? For those who don't know about Labour, except where the pitch lake is, tell us about the community.
Right, so the village of Labour and the surrounding villages of Banks River, Guapo, Gonzales, Caroline, the surrounding villages. The people here have a long history. I mean, well, we're a proud people. Labour in the 1940s is not anything like Labour is today. Labour was a bustling town in the 1940s in the heyday of the oil industry. And there was a lot of economic activity, a lot of industry taking place in this community. There were banks, fire stations. I mean, Labour was a complete town, almost as busy as Port of Spain at one time. But over the years, the economy, with the initial oil crash in the 70s, the economy has depleted and never got a chance to rise back up. So what you have is a very proud people who are aware of their history, but they're in economically challenging circumstances. So because of this, you will not get a lot of too much of the noise that you would get otherwise, but the people are quietly trying to maintain their dignity and develop themselves.
Anything you'd like to say to the people of Trinidad and Tobago before we wrap this interview?
To the people of Trinidad and Tobago, Labour and the Southwest Peninsula has a lot to offer by way of history, ecotourism, oil sector industry, beaches. We are an excellent destination for your Stay to Getaway campaign. So I'm looking forward to developing many of the destinations, the attractions of the Southwest Peninsula. I'm hoping to be able to attract greater interest in domestic tourism coming into this area. We have fantastic beaches, we have fantastic people. Labour is well known for being very fertile in terms of fruits. We always have great fruits in season. So we would invite persons to come down to Labour. There's a great deal to excite you, and you can stay tuned for greater promotional effort coming out of the Southwestern Peninsula.
I know Labour is famous for their Labour Dulus, the mango. Thank you very much, MP, and we wish you all the best.
Thank you very much.
So again, as we leave you from the community of Vancouver, we hope that you will continue joining us as we continue going from community to community. And this program, Family Corner, which comes to you every Thursday at 10:30 a.m. So keep tuned, keep locked on. We'll be in a community near you soon.